Yo, everybody. Happy, I guess we could call it Red Daredevil Day, Deadpool Day, or Spider-Man Day. I haven't really decided, but my question to you guys is how would you rank your favorite superheroes that are dressed in red? Both in sort of the comic book form and in the and in like the televisions and movie form. To me, I would have to say that I would have to rank probably Spider-Man as my favorite, just because I think Spider-Man is probably the most well beloved and sort of Marvel's face of Marvel, and I would have to say that probably Daredevil, or I guess I like Deadpool just because Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, and I think Deadpool really, as sort of a character in, I haven't really seen him that much play in different, like, other media, but I do like Deadpool in sort of the film versions that Ryan Reynolds did. But then you had Daredevil, and I think Daredevil, who I've seen a little bit on an episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series, and I understood kind of his character. And then I've also seen him, as I've reviewed in the past, both in the Ben Affleck Daredevil film and also in the Daredevil television series with Charlie Cox. And that one I think is done really well, and it's done a really dark and exciting version of Daredevil, and I think it's one of the best shows that I think Marvel has done. And then you have Spider-Man, who has had about Spider-Man Has Many Friends, Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 60s, the 90s, Ultimate, the 2000s. Spider-Man's kind of the face of Marvel, and he's done really well in different series, like the animated series from the Amazing Friends, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from the 60s, to Spider-Man the animated series from 1994, to Spider-Man the animated series from 2000, Spider-Man Unlimited, which I think was a sequel series to Spider-Man. And I did kind of have to say that he's also done really well in the MTV Spider-Man, which Jay and I have covered. But I think Spider-Man has done really well in, I think, film-wise. But and then in film-wise, you had Tobey Maguire play Spider-Man, which now probably is everyone's kind of like, well, we've seen so many Spider-Man that it's not, exciting as it was. But then you saw Spider-Man, but just to see Spider-Man fly and get the kind of thing, and I think see him actually go through flying and stuff, but web swinging around the city was just so incredible to watch back in 2002. And then you had Andrew Garfield that had more character, had a different kind of twist to it, and I think it's more of the Ultimate Spider-Man. And then you had Tom Holland's Spider-Man from the Holmes trilogy, and I feel like they bring something different. But then you also have Spider-Man in the going back to video game form. There's so much stuff you could do with Spider-Man, but that's just my kind of look at sort of these three characters. I think Deadpool was I think if 20th Century Fox didn't take Deadpool and gave him a second chance, I don't think we would have what Deadpool was. We'd be like, well, Deadpool wasn't that great in X-Men Origins Wolverine, so I guess he can't do it. But then he came back in 2016 with Deadpool 1, and then of course Deadpool and Wolverine, which was kind of a cleaned up Deadpool, X-Men Origins Wolverine, because you brought Deadpool and Wolverine into the same series, and it works amazingly. So that's just my look at the Deadpool, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. Real quick, kind of Marvel look, comics, the Reds, if you will. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comments below, and as always, like and subscribe.